welcome back to Blue Heart Craft Catch-Up. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all staying safe, taking care of yourselves, and just generally having a nice, relaxing, crafty time. I believe this is episode 106, but I've actually done no notes for this because I think I can actually remember things, and plus my iPad's on charge and it is running very low. If I wait for it to actually be charged up a bit to where I know it's not going to go dead on me mid-film, and then it will be completely dark. It is actually 3:30 already. It is starting to get pretty dark, so I have had to switch on the overhead light. So sorry about the terrible lighting. But yeah, I hope you're all doing well, staying safe and taking care. It's been a bit of a chaotic few weeks for me. I've been getting back in work. We're shut for first couple of weeks of the year while the attraction that I work at gets, renovated, gets any upgrades it needs doing and stuff like that. So yeah, it's been weird getting back into the swing of things. But yeah, other than that, it's not really been too busy. But I'm going to go through what I have worked on over the past couple of weeks. And yeah, first thing I have worked on is a crochet bear. Now I have not actually got this with me, so I'm going to have to put up a photo. It is the Frontline Heroes bear that I worked on, and I actually created this in, I think it was 12 hours. Yeah, a bit of an evening and a bit of a morning getting ready. So if you've been here for a couple of weeks now, my mum's not been very well, and she's been in and out of hospital over the past few months. And in her recent admission, me and my sister were chatting to her in the ward, and my sister, said to me, "Oh, why don't you make mum, like crochet mum a little something?" As I'm normally taking up my knitting at the hospitals when I'm seeing her. And I was like, great idea. Me and my sister started going through my Ravelry library. My sister spotted a Grim Reaper. Now, as a family, when we deal with hard situations, we deal with it with humour. That's one of our coping mechanisms as a family, and me and my sister thought that'll be fun. Mum shut it down because she's on a ward. Don't think it'd been great. Might have been a bit unnerving for other patients really. So I showed my sister the Frontline Heroes bear pattern, and they thought that was great. A little teddy bear in scrubs with a face mask, perfect. So yeah, did that, and yeah, I planned to get it done by the time I was going to go and see her the next day. So yeah, into the night as late as I could, I was working on that bit. Then in the morning, still hadn't got it finished completely, so I was doing a bit of it, and it came time to where we had to leave to go and pick up a few things on the way to go and see my mum, and it's still not finished. So I was crocheting in the car. I finished off the cap in the car. I finished off sewing the ears on in the car, slipped the cap on, it worked perfectly, fit, perfectly around the ears and stuff like that. And then I had to crochet the face mask as we were in a shop. So I'm walking around, bag over my arm, trying to do this. My dad's like, "Do you think she'll like this?" I'm like, "I can't leave. I'm not even focusing at the moment." So anyway, yeah, did just about manage to get it done. The eyes I'm not 100% happy with. I wanted to try some different eyes. I'm not great with stitching eyes, and there's a few tutorials that I've got saved that I wanted to give a go. However, the pattern, it directs you where you've got to be able to sew the eyes in so that it fits above the mask. So if I had to pull them out, I didn't want to have done loads of work, so that's why I just did bog standard basic eyes. I used a 3mm hook. The yarn I used was all DK. It was Mariner's DK in the colour white for the mask. The blue was Deramores Anti-Pilling DK, and I believe that was turquoise. And the brown was from a shop here in the UK called Home and Bargains. Again, that was all stuff in my stash, so yeah, I didn't have to go anywhere. So I did all that, and that was my main finished object. So yeah, my mum absolutely loved it, and she was showing it off to all the nurses, all the doctors who came around, saw it, and even all the patients on her little bay. When I went in the next day, she was like, "This is the one who did my hair little bit," and it was sat up on her table in the hospital. So that was really lovely, and she absolutely loves it. So yeah, that's the main thing, is that my mum loved it. So that's the main finished object. And I'm not gonna lie, after that my shoulder was killing because I was just trying to go as quick as I could. So yeah, my shoulder was in agony after that. Had to put a lot of deep heat spray on it, taking a lot of anti-inflammatories, but it was all worth it. The next finished object, and the only other finished object I've got, is my socks. Let's see, I'll put them this way. This way they look a bit better, just because I'm doing magic loop, and if you see, I do have a ladder when I'm doing magic loop. And this is one of the reasons why I don't do magic loop that often, but the only way I'm going to get rid of that ladder is if I keep practicing. So that's why I decided to give it a go again and just keep practicing until I get it a lot better. So yeah, that's them right there. Which was it? It was this way. There you go. So that's where they look a bit better on that one. If you've got any tips on how to beat getting those lines when you're doing magic loop knitting, then please let me know. I am all ears. I've tried looking at tutorials. One tutorial tells you tighten up the stitches, another tutorial goes get really loose, and I'm like, what? I genuinely, I can't. I tried going loose for a while, tried doing it tighter for a while. They both turned out really noticeable when you put them on the block, because when you're on your feet, not too bad because they're on the sides. So yeah, that's why I thought just keep going until you get better with them. That's the only way you're going to improve it. But yeah, these are the basic toe-up socks with integrated heel by Albina McLaughlin. I'd bought this pattern last year and I just never gave them a go because, you know, I've got so many sock patterns and, you know, it's trying to get around to them all. So this year, with the Your Socks and You Know It Cal, my idea was to try different sock patterns that I've never done before that were in my library and give them a go. So this was the one that I did this month. Well, I'm doing 6 lots of socks, so I had to get these done by the end of February. Thankfully I've got them done by the end of January, so that's not too bad. But yeah, this is what they're like, and yeah, it's a different heel than what I've normally done, and it doesn't quite sit on the blockers very well, but they fit on me perfectly, so that's not bad. That's where I was last time on both socks, and as you can see, got it all done, finished the heel and finished the cuff and the rib at the top. And this is King Cole Zigzag in the colourway Circus. Now I don't know how it's coming up on the thing, but it's actually really quite nice in person. I feel like on the camera it's not coming out great, but yeah, you've got these stripes of colour with the black and white in between, and I didn't colour control because, as you can see, the stripes are all like, you know, the colour stripes are all different, so I don't think you'd have been able to actually do it anyway. But yeah, this is my first time doing the pattern, and you know what, I'd actually use the integrated heel more often. I think I'd still do the shadow wrap heel. I think it's also quite a favourite. I still really like the shadow wrap heel, but this is a very good close second that I may use every now and again. I'm going to give these socks a wear and see what they actually feel like, because obviously, you know, I enjoyed working on them, but it's whether they fit great or not. So I'll let you know how I get on when I wear them, because I've got work this week, so I'll wear them to work. Yeah, because I'll keep my feet lovely and warm. But yeah, I really liked how they worked up. Prefer it so much over a heel flap and gusset, and they do look so much more neater when I do them compared to how I do a heel flap and gusset. So I really enjoyed that, and I used 2.5mm needles. So yeah, that's them socks done. I am gonna pick the socks that I'm gonna work on next. So for the Socksy and You Know It Cal, so I've got the pink is yarn, the yellow is the patterns that I use. So what I'll do is I'll pick one of each, but I will not actually get working on these till I've at least finished another pair of socks, because in 2023 I started a pair of socks and I didn't get them finished by the end of last year. I had one whole sock done, the second sock needs to actually get cast on and done, so I'm gonna do that second sock and then get this started. But I do like to open this on camera, so I'm gonna do it now. pick a pink and a yellow. I can't remember what pink is and what yellow is, which one's the pattern, which one's the arm, but one of them is that. So pink's pattern. So I'm gonna do the fidget socks next, and the yarn that I'm gonna use is the West Yorkshire Spinners Christmas, Signature Sparkle, which is one of their Christmas yarns in the colourway Fairy Lights. So they're the ones that I am going to get started on next, but as I said, I'll get these other socks done first, and yeah, that's ready to go for February. So I know what I'm doing now. I can get it all prepped, and you know what, if I do finish the other socks maybe in the middle of the month, I could always get started on those socks a bit early, because it is supposed to be, most people are doing it monthly, but you can do it bi-monthly if you prefer, and I want to do it bi-monthly just because it gives me a bit more leeway, and I normally do take longer than a month to get a pair of socks done. These got done so quick because this was the project that I was taken up to the hospital to go and see my mum with, so it was dead easy for me to be able to pick this up and just yeah, take it on the go with me. I didn't have to worry too much about you know, what I carried with it, because in my bag just had the tape measure, the pattern I knew off by heart, once I'd done the heel and stuff like that. The needles were all in there, the arm was in there, it was all ready to go, and the bag that I had it in was about that big, so it was just something dead easy for me to take up and down to the hospital, and I didn't have to worry. So that's why that got so much work done on it in January. Had my mum not been in hospital, that would not have probably got finished till the middle of February. So that's why I'm doing the bi-monthly, just because I'm not rushing it then. But there are all my FOs. They're the only 2 FOs I've got this week. So I'll get on with the whips. So my first whip, I'm only going to be showing you this once a month. So I'm taking part in the Shutterbug AU cowl, which is run by Judy at Witch Piece Craft. Now I did Judy's cowl last year. Judy normally does a cowl every year. It used to be year long, but now it's condensed, so you still get the 12 prompts, but you get them twice a month, so you get them over the 6 months instead. Now I did the cowl last year, and I did basically you do what projects sort of you want, but you've just got to use colours inspired by each prompt. So last year it was locations that you had to pick your colours were inspired by, so that was the first one there, and I finished off with that red there last year. And the pattern here that I'm using is the paint box cowl. That is a pay for pattern. I'll leave it down below in the description box below, like I will do with all the other patterns that I have talked about in the video. I forgot to mention the Frontline Hero Bear free pattern, really great pattern, highly recommend it. The socks here, the integrated heel socks, they are pay for, but again, highly recommend it, and you get toe up and cuff down version, so again, really would recommend that. But yeah, I absolutely love this cowl. So yeah, I'll show you at the end of each month the 2 prompts that I've done, and you do 2 colours with each prompt, so you'll get to see 4 colour blocks each month effectively. Yeah, so the main colour I'm using is Stylecraft Special DK in the colourway Graphite. I believe that's my second ball that I'm using on there, and yeah, the other colours I just find something in stash that goes as close to the colour as possible. This is what I've done this month. So we have the green, the blue, the pale yellow and the pink. And the Shutterbug cowl is basically, Judy has these photos, mostly ones that she's taken, and she's put it into an app, and it generates, like, you know, a colour palette, and you choose 2 colours off that colour palette. So that's where the green and the blue came from, and the yellow and the pink. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this. So I've got to get the next colours done by the 15th of the month. But yeah, I'll show you that every month. But yeah, I really like it, and once it's done, it should probably be about double that size there, so it should be nice to be able to get around my neck and not be too close to my neck, but still something that I can wear up. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting that done. And then at the end of this year, that should actually, I'm hoping that by the end of this cal, it'll be long enough to where I'm feeling like, yeah, okay, I want to join it. And so that actually should be finished off in June, which is really exciting. Yeah, another long-term project, another 2023 project would be done, because that is one of my main goals, is trying to get those projects that I started last year or before off my hooks and my needles. Next one is the advent calendars that I've been, my advent calendar blankets I've been working on. So here is the Battenberg inspired corner to corner one. So 1 minute. This is the front way, I was showing you the back. So yeah, here it is on the front. I am up to day 13, I believe. Oh, the advent calendars, yeah, day 13. But and I've got up to day 24, but then I'm then doing I've expanded on it since I was going to do the original, my original idea. I have expanded on it. So yeah, it's gonna, at the moment this is 10 rows, and I'm going to go round 10 down 10 rows, and then I'm going to border it so that all the advent yarns will be in the middle. But yeah, I'm trying to put them in order on this bit. So these two here were actually from my 2023 advent calendar, just because when I was originally doing it 10 by 10, I needed 50 different colours. And my 2 advent calendars would have only gave me 48, and so by doing these in 2023, it just gave me a chance to actually test it out and see if I'd have enough yarn to do this and my other projects. So yeah, that's what we've got there. Let's see, that blue square there is where I was last time. So I did from the white onwards for the rest of the row, and then I've done 5 on the row below. So that is where I'm at with that. I'm using a 2.5mm hook, and the white I'm using is a Stylecraft Special Baby yarn in the colourway white. So yeah, really love this. It's very therapeutic, they're very relaxing, and I'm actually weaving in my ends as I go, so I'm very impressed with it. Normally what I do is when I do the 4 squares, so 2 of the white and then 2 of that, you know, the 2 for each, the whole day, so the 2 separate yarns that for that day, I then go and weave in the ends for that. So that is where I'm at. My final whip, I do need to weave in a few ends on this, I forgot to as I was going around, is my where'd that be, triangulum blanket. So I've now gone on to the 3rd row, so it does look a bit weird, but from here I'm going to be doing half hexies to attach it on. But yeah, each hexagon is made up of triangles, and I absolutely love it. So the last one I believe I worked on was this one here, the brown and blue, and because I did attach it on the wrong side, this one's a bit back to front. So which one did I do last time? So last time you saw it, I did that brown and blue one, which I loved. I then did this one, which I really loved the colour combination on that one, but this is another favourite here. That was a favourite for me. And then that one there. These ends here are woven in. I've just got to actually snip them. The problem that I've noticed is because when I'm working on it, the way you work on it, it's sort of starting to roll up because of the way I'm turning it on my lap. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to start folding it in on itself to sort of stop it from curling around, sort of fold it apart and then clip it so that it is not turning, because it is turning into like a tube basically on my lap. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it, really loving it. And these colours that the colours are not in date order. I created a whole layout of how I wanted the colours to look. So yeah, I've got it there ready to go. So I just look at my little key, see what colours I've got to put in next. And yeah, but I'm at the same point with each one of them. So I'm pretty happy about that. I wanted to sort of stay at the same pace with them so that I'm not getting dead far ahead on one and really lagging behind in the others, because otherwise one will end up getting done and the other will end up sitting there hibernating for ages, and that's not the plan. I really want to get these done because, you know, these were my advent projects and that. But when I have been finishing with the yarn, I have some leftovers. So here's the leftovers. This is 5 days worth of leftovers. I'm going to get the cake winder out and turn them into little cakes, just because I find the yarn stays nicer in a cake than in a ball. But yeah, I've been putting them into balls of 5 days in the correct order, and then when I've finished them all, they're going to go into my 10 stitch blanket, which is again another long-term whip, but I thought that would be great to be able to put the scraps in. With the Mouse Witch Yarns advent calendar, I had 2 advent calendars. I forgot, this is one thing I've got to mention now. Yeah, so the advents that I bought last year, one was from Mouse Witch Yarns and one was from My Yarny Corner. Mouse Witch Yarns was a sort of fade, but not, you know, there are some where there is a bit more of a difference. It's not like a very 100% accurate fade. And the My Yarny Corner one was animals, so each one was inspired by the animal. With the Mouse Witch Yarns one, because I like how it does fade into each other when, like, you know, laid out and stuff like that, what I've decided to do is I've done a magic knot ball of them. So when I am putting it into my 10 stitch blanket, it will just flow. I won't have to fade them in, which is what I have normally been doing when I'm normally adding a new yarn into that 10 stitch blanket. I'll do like alternate rows of the old yarn and the new yarn for a couple of rows, but with the Mouse Witch yarn, I'm just gonna, you know, it's gonna go from one straight into the other, because I do think it blends really nicely together. So yeah, that's what I've got there. That is my bag of finished yarns. My bag full of yarns to go is even bigger, and it is a bit daunting when you've got to then start looking for the next yarn. It is really daunting. But I actually also did a bit of sewing. Very impressed with this on myself because I did not actually use a pattern. So yeah, did these, I think the day after I filmed the video last time. So basically I got 2 little bits of fabric, and I made myself a DPN cozy. So with the DPNs, when I'm working on them, if I don't put them in a cozy, they end up starting poking holes through the bag, or they end up just getting everywhere, potentially falling out and stuff like that. Whereas when you put them in the DPN cozy, they really, you know, sort of stay in the right position, don't end up falling everywhere. So yeah, I decided to make myself a little DPN cozy, and I've really made up with it. What I essentially did was I sewed a square of like, I put the 2 fabrics together, sewed them in a square, and then basically folded it in half and sewed down each side. So that is what I did to get this done. Didn't do anything fancy. When I was started looking at patterns to DPN cozies, it just looked so complex to me, and I was like, nope, I'm gonna be here all night. So yeah, I decided to do that and put some little poppers on, and I'm really made up with that. I'm really impressed, and you know what, it's worked a real treat with me. I absolutely love them, and I'm just like, why did I not do this in December? Because December is hectic, but you know what I mean. I just think, why did I put off so long doing them? It wasn't too daunting. Are they the most professional in the world? No. And I have got another DPN case that I recently bought off Jeanette of Crafty Clegs Creations. I need to put my teeth back in, so I'm slowing my world a bit, getting them all mixed up. But yeah, I did buy DPN holder off Jeanette at Clegg's Creations earlier this month as well. I bought them after I made this, and that one is a little bit smaller, which I liked because I do have some DPNs that are a bit smaller, so I thought that's ideal for that, because if I put the smaller ones in this, then they just fall out of the gap where the poppers are. So I did buy the one off Jeanette, and hers is so much more professional than mine, but you know what, it works for me. That's it. I just needed it to work for me, and it does great. So yeah, that is all I've been working on over the past couple of weeks. So it's just been a bit crazy and hectic, but hopefully now it's gonna be quiet and, you know, just quite chilled out, especially as I've got the house to myself now for just over 2 weeks. My dad's gone on holiday. He's actually flying tomorrow, but he's flying from down south in Gatwick Airport, which is by London or in London, I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, he's flying from Gatwick and he's going on holiday with some family. They live near London, so he's gone down tonight to go and stay with them the night before, so he's not rushing around tomorrow. But yeah, basically it means I've got a few days to myself, a few weeks to myself, which I am absolutely made up. I think it's gonna be great because I'm gonna be able to get quite a few videos done and filmed, and yeah, ready to go. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, but hopefully it means chilled, relaxed, taking it easy. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna get going. I hope you're all staying safe, taking care. Let me know what you've been working on, because I always love hearing what you've all been up to. And please let me know if you've got any tips about stopping laddering with magic loop socks. Take care, stay safe, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye.